Taking a look at the south side of Chicago, that is Rate Field, home of the Chicago White Sox. It's been called a number of different things for these fans to come and sit. Rate Field, Guaranteed Rate Field, U.S. Cellular Field, and Comiskey Park, but not the original Comiskey Park. This was Comiskey Park number 2. The White Sox have a long history of Major League Baseball, established in 1901. And from the years of 1910 through 1990, that was the old Comiskey Park. It was actually originally called White Sox Park before being named for Charles Comiskey. Eventually played their final season there in 1990 before switching over to this ballpark that again is now Rate Field. And for more on the history aspect of Rate Field and the tie into Comiskey Park, let's send it back down to Michelle Margot.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, so when they built this ballpark back in 1991, they wanted to preserve one key tradition of the old Comiskey Park, and that was a public shower. Yes, an open-air public shower. It was installed in the center field bleachers at Old Comiskey Park back in the 70s to let fans cool off during the sweltering summer. And the old owner, Bill Veeck, had a very well-known fan-first promotional style, so they preserved that tradition, and it became a staple where people would just run through it fully clothed. Now, guys, I gotta imagine the target demographic that still uses it is probably children and honestly, maybe the overserved, which sounds like a great idea in theory, but as somebody who has covered a game here in April when it is snowing, I personally believe they should have put some effort into maybe a sauna because it is so frigid here during those winter months.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of love that if there is a walk-off win for the sideline reporter here, I know what it's like to get doused with Gatorade and then have to go on a plane without taking a shower. That's a handy little thing to have. One more to go from Chicago. What a city on the shores of Lake Michigan.
Sundays just got a whole lot better at the ballpark. Family Sundays at Citi Field. Packed with pregame activities, a mascot brunch, run the bases after the game, and on select Sundays,
exceptional lease and financing offers now during the Welcome Home celebration. Offers end soon. Visit your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Your Honda Mets starting lineup, a little bit of a different look with the expectation that Eric Fetty is going to be the bulk guy after an opener. Carson Benj, after a 3-hit day yesterday, batting third for the first time all season.
Well, a familiar foe for the New York Mets, Sean Newcomb, who started his career with Atlanta. 21st appearance against the Mets, 10th start against the Mets.
Francisco Lindor, a bit of a mini slump right now, 0 for 9 in this series, 1 for his last 20 over his last 5 games. Sean Newcomb made his major league debut against the Mets.
Yeah, he'll throw a couple different fastballs, the four-seamer, sinker, but the sweeper is his big pitch, and he's had a good year for the White Sox this year.
Comes inside with the four-seam, 3-1.
If he looks a little bit like a John Lester clone, it's probably because he grew up watching John Lester. He grew up in Middleborough, Massachusetts, a Red Sox fan, kind of modeled his way of pitching after John.
And he was a highly touted player, if you remember. 15th overall pick of the Angels back in 2014, was traded to the Braves in that Andrelton Simmons deal. And he never quite lived up to those expectations. The last few deals he's had to take, last couple of deals had to be minor league deals, until really having a good year last year out of the pen and signing a 1-year major league deal with the White Sox this season. Down the line for a base hit. Francisco Lindor rounding first. He'll go into second easily. Breaks the 0 for 9 in this series with a leadoff double.
In that small at-bat there by Lindor, you see some of the problems that Newcomb has had over his career. When he's ahead of the hitters, he can put them away. But when he gets in hitters' counts, he gets to the fastball, and the fastball becomes hittable then, just by a diving Vargas.
Nobody hotter right now than this batter, Bo Bichette. 12-game on-base streak. Takes ball 1. Bichette hitting .391 during that streak. 8 extra base hits, including 3 home runs, 2 of which have come in this series.
You know when he's hot, Steve, is when he starts slugging to the pull side. That's when you know he is spot on. When he's not, he takes a lot of his hits to right field. But when he's good and healthy, those home runs come to the pull side.
And that home run off of Castillo came on an 11 pitch at bat. It was the deepest into an at bat that the Mets have had someone homer all year. Last time that happened was Francisco Lindor in Arizona 2 seasons ago. Ground ball up the middle. Nicely played by Newcomb. A soft toss over to first. 1 away.
Well, good job by Newcomb there. When the ball comes back at you, look at the runner, which he did. Jake Rogers, the hero in game 1, is back out there doing the catching. Same lineup as yesterday. Antonacci, Peterson, Montgomery. The other Montgomery's playing shortstop. Vargas, who's had quite a series, Maedroff, and Murakami. A lot of M's in this lineup.
There's Will Venable, second-year manager for the White Sox. Benj swinging first pitch, fouls it straight back. You know, that home run from Carson Benj came off a lefty. He's facing one here early in Sean Newcomb. It's been pretty good against both sides. You know, almost identical numbers left and right.
I remember asking Tony Gwynn about hitting off lefties and righties. He said, the ball's coming over the same part of the plate, right? I said, oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
Well, that's my favorite thing about talking with Benj, because I've asked him about it before. And he said to me, what's the difference?
I love it.
If the ball comes over the plate, you got to hit it.
Keep things simple. This game has gotten too hard.
Andy Green and his bench coach Kai Correa. That's a nice pitch to get Benj swinging for out number 2.
This is the big pitch. It's the put-away pitch for Newcomb. As this big sweeper starts it on the inside corner. Of course, Benj has never faced him before, so first AB goes to Newcomb.
Luis Robert Jr. here in the booze, but probably smiling a little bit more today after his 2 home run night last night. Robert played his first 6 seasons here with the White Sox. All-Star in 23. Gold Glove and runner-up to Rookie of the Year in 2020. Fouled straight back, 1-1.
I mean, the Mets are in an interesting place. They're in a spoiler mode, right? They're coming into these places with teams that are in playoff contention, and they're trying to spoil that. And they have an individual player who used to play here who doubly wants to spoil the White Sox chances. I bet you when the Mets come into certain towns the way they're playing now, especially Chicago, they're like, how is this team 13 games under 500? I think they're really getting a lot of teams to pay attention.
Well, the really crazy thing is there was a world where they wouldn't have to be playing spoiler right now. It would have been almost unheard of, but they've been one of the best teams in baseball since the trade deadline.
That's right.
Gone 12-5. But
yeah,
they're tying the Phillies and the Padres for the best record since the deadline, and those are the 2 teams that are at the top of the wild card, so they haven't made up any ground.
Yeah. Too many teams between them and third wild card, so unless you pull like an undefeated finish.
Gets him with the slurve. Back-to-back Ks for Newcomb to end the top half of the first. Just a few more weeks left of summer. These are all Chicago photos, by the way, of summer. And it's got to be great. I've never been out on Lake Michigan in the summer. I should do that next year.
I mean, you're living in a city and you can have a boat and go fishing. How good is that?
Here's the Hyundai starting lineup for the White Sox. Essentially the same as yesterday, going against the righty Nolan McLean. The one difference, the catcher Jake Rogers instead of Drew Romo.
Well, we talked about his 12 of his last 14, 2 earned runs or less. Those are the Toyota numbers for McLean. What's going to be interesting to watch here is that he really has been using his two-seam a lot. He's got to use it today because this White Sox team, one of their strengths is hitting the four-seam. And second, they're very good on the first pitch. So a quality first pitch in every at-bat is going to be vital for Nolan McLean.
And because McLean has attacked batters so well, as you look at Sam Antonacci's numbers, when they're swinging first pitch and they jump him, they're hitting .373, putting that ball in play. Went off the mask of Luis Torrens.
Uppercut with the curveball. Tries to field it with his glove, pops it up into his mask. Ejection. Wow.
I mean, nobody in baseball has a curveball with quite those RPMs.
The only guy that has one was about 40 years ago, and that's Steve Stone, who's in the booth for the Chicago White Sox.
Curveball gets Antonacci swinging. Out number 1.
I mean, the ball starts right down the middle, and then it almost hits him in the left knee. I mean, that's how much break is on it. And why I say that Steve Stone, he won a Cy Young with that breaking ball. One of the best years a pitcher's ever had.
Munetaka Murakami second up for Chicago. Well, that curveball, batters hitting just 9 for 90 against that pitch from Nolan McLean. That's the lowest batting average versus a curveball in Major League Baseball.
There's Stoney, one of the best. Great announcer. He and Harry Carey, for doing the Cubs games when I played, was must-see TV. He's got the window closed, maybe trying to keep the sunlight out of the booth.
Yeah, that I can get on board with. I was a little worried here, Ron. It was very sunny earlier today. I just didn't expect I'd have to bring sunscreen inside in this
right.
role, you know?
Like, I mean, my people, we don't have to worry about it, but like I should be more cognizant of health care for you.
Well, one thing we should probably tell people about. Gets him on the outside corner. There's that sinker painted. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts.
That's 5 strikeouts now from Murakami in the last 2 games, 4 yesterday.
So we should take people behind the curtain a little bit. When we do our open, you know, you're so much taller than me that you do a really nice job of just kind of sinking down so we look closer to the same height. But one thing we can't change is that, you know, that skin tone, it's jarring, the two of us next to each other.
I mean, the camera people trying to get the lighting correct for you and I is almost impossible. So I do like the wide leg technique to come down to Steve's. I mean, Steve's a tall guy. So what are you, 6'1", 6'2"?
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay, 6 feet or whatever.
6'2",
So I do the wide leg technique so I can get down to even. Why do I do that? I hate when I see announcers and one is like so tall and one small. I don't like that shot personally.
What was it like working with Bob Costas? I know I'm taller than
there's
him.
other guys I work with when I have to sit and do it as well. So
Vargas, ground ball to short. Scoop and fire from Lindor. Nice first inning for Nolan McLean, who gets the White Sox 1-2-3.
And the Blue Moon.
Sean Newcomb starts off Eric Wagaman with ball number 1.
Wagaman came off the bench yesterday with a big base hit, drove in a run.
Nice job by Andy Green yesterday using his bench. Wagaman came on to pinch hit for Beatty, who had been having a good game. Drove in a run, and then in the 9th inning, pinch hit Torrens for Wagaman, 2-run home run.
Playing 4D chess was Andy Green last night.
Wagaman recalled from AAA Syracuse on Wednesday after Jorge Polanco went on the IL. This is his first start since coming back. There's Eric Fetty warming up in the bullpen as expected. He will be the bulk guy this afternoon. It's a ground ball to the left side. Colson Montgomery. One away. Mets fans, vote for the Adams Classic Burger. Fill in your Ballpark Bites bracket for a chance to win tickets and try this bite at the stadium. Vote MLB.com/bracket. So now Christopher Morel, his second game since being signed by the Mets. So you can see, I mean, it's a sunny day. Morel has some unique eye black. Not just one line underneath each eye, but two. And there is a reason for that. So Christopher Morel is very close friends with Willy Adames, as a wild swing on the slurve puts him behind the 8 ball 1-2. Chris has likened Willie to an older brother, and Willie does that to horizontal lines. So it's an ode to Willy Adames.
Willy Adames, one of the nicest people to be around. I bet you there's a few players in the game that admire him and the way he plays the game. Very feline-like with the eye black.
Of course, Morel knows this city well. He was originally signed by the Cubs in 2015. Misses wide, count run full. Sean Newcomb's only had one first pitch strike. Third full count already. But he gets him with the four-seam fastball. 2 down. 3 strikeouts for Newcomb.
He's got a little ride on that four-seamer as that ball started on the outside part, carried through the zone and beat Morel.
2 away now. Marcus Semien having a nice series. 2 hits in each of the first 2 games. He takes strike 1. 2 for 5 yesterday with an RBI. 2 for 4 on Friday with an RBI. Newcomb ahead 0-2.
So far, I really like the strike zone of this young umpire, Dexter Kelly. Very assertive. Hasn't made a mistake. First 2 games were a little off.
Right back up the middle. On the backhand is Mydrith, and he makes the throw to get Semien. So a nice play up the middle from the White Sox second baseman. Bottom 2, Andrew Benintendi leading off and swinging first pitch. High fly ball to right field. Carson Bench, 1 hand, 1 out.
Well, defensively for the Mets and McLean, Luis Torrens is behind the plate catching McLean. Same infield except for Wagaman at first. And Ewing looks like he's going to play every day in center field. And if Robert Jr. plays, it'll be in left.
3rd consecutive start for Luis Robert in left field after only starting there 1 time before. Carson Bench, we know he's got a howitzer for an arm in right field, as does this guy, Braden Montgomery. Saw him at a home run last night. But the 2 are very similar, highly touted prospects. Both were 2-way players in college. Montgomery threw a seed on Wednesday to get the former Met Tyrone Taylor out at third base, 97 miles an hour from the outfield.
Ooh, good change up. First one by McLean.
Montgomery's going to challenge that.
Oh, I think it caught the bottom of the zone. Nope, below. Good challenge by Montgomery.
See what happens? You praise him in the last half inning.
Well, that's the natural events that happen in baseball. But that was still a good pitch by McLean. A lot of movement on it.
Just misses outside 3-1. And as you said, the first two games have been wild behind the plate with the challenges, especially yesterday. Did not go. And Montgomery works a walk, first base runner of the afternoon for the White Sox. So it is Players Weekend. Let's take a look at Nolan McLean's belt today.
An homage to Luis Torrens. Somewhere on the bench, Francisco Alvarez is envious.
What's that? Oh, is that his dog? Dog and waffles.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see the personality of McLean leak out a little bit after last night, that home run celebration.
That's right. Chicken and waffles, I've heard. Dog and waffles, no.
I think once he got rid of the goatee and went full mustache, he let it all fly. Colson Montgomery behind 0-2.
I mean, it was his day to pitch today, so no one got to ask him. But you got to ask him at some point, Steve, when you're down there. Ask him what that was all about.
Ron, don't worry. It's my first question when I return to my role. Colson Montgomery struck out 4 times yesterday, 0 for 5. Curveball bounced. Good job by Torrens.
The thing about catchers, they might not run fast, but boy, they are quick. Not only does he block the ball, but he gets the mask off and gets in position in case Braden Montgomery was trying to take an extra base.
Got him swinging. Nasty curveball again. So Montgomery follows up a 4-strikeout game last night with 1 K to start today.
You know, we started this season watching McLean try to throw 14 pitches in the first 2 innings, but he has simplified it to a 2-seamer and that curveball early in the game, and then he will add pitches as he goes along.
Chase Mydroth now with 2 away. He takes a fastball for a strike.
Watch the arm, Torrens, his right arm. It just stays right against his ribs. So that way there's no hole there for that ball to escape through. Just keep those hands real close to your side.
Strike 2. Back-to-back fastballs, the 4-seam and the sinker. Off the end of the bat to Simeon, decides to go to first with it. And the White Sox held scoreless again in the second. We're through 2.
200.
Working on a win presented by the Home Depot. Mets offense has been on fire in the month of August. Bo Bichette, Carson Benj, Jared Young have been great, but nobody has been quite as good as the catcher Luis Torrens.
Well, that really speaks to the depth of lineup that you're always searching for.
First pitch swinging, topped over to the right side. A.J. Ewing speed, almost, he does beat it out. Wow. A.J. Ewing smelled an infield base hit and he went after it.
This is going to be no challenge. He beat it. Flat out beat the foot of Murakami getting to the base. Here we go. Well, it's at least a tie.
Tie
right?
goes to
it's
the
at
runner.
least a tie.
Well, looks like they are going to challenge it.
Now, how does Murakami make that play better? What he needed to do is catch it and dive to first and touch the base with his glove. That's the only way. I mean, I haven't got a chance to ask A.J. Ewing, but I wonder if he ran track in high school. I mean, he runs so beautifully. It's like he's worked on a perfect way to run.
So the batting cages here at Wright Field are very different than any other place we go to because they're right in the hallway.
Or everyone walks by.
Right. And so today when I was walking by, A.J. Ewing was taking batting practice, and he looked at me and said, "Steve, what should I do today?" I told him to do that. Exactly that.
You did? Just hustle?
Yep. Exactly that. I don't know how you overturn that.
Yeah, I mean, if it had been called out, I don't know how you'd overturn that either. Just the call should kind of take precedence for how they call it. It's called safe. It's too close to change. Should be safe.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Chicago loses their challenge.
12th infield hit for A.J. Ewing this season.
I mean, the hustle, you just love it from your young center fielder as Venable comes to take out his opener, Sean Newcomb.
Eric Fetty coming on in bulk relief. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Mobile.
Well, you know what today is, Ron? It's the Little League Classic in Williamsport.
Oh, nice.
So we've got your Little League pictures.
Inwood All-Stars, part of the 5 towns. That's upstate New York.
The Wizards. Look at that. I love that.
The kid in the middle is going to be a star.
Hartford Yard Goats. And now back to the big boys. Eric Fetty on in bulk relief to face the most feared power hitter in Major League Baseball, Luis Torrens.
Well, Eric Fetty is a guy that's also faced the Mets many, many times. This is his 20th appearance. He's 2-5 with a 6.78 ERA when he has faced the Mets. It's the home run when he pinch hit in last night's ball game. Fastball from Richards there, down and away. Sent to his favorite part of the ballpark, right center.
Since the All-Star break, has a .750 slugging percentage. That's the best in Major League Baseball. It is really insane. We joke, but insane what he's doing right now. 6 home runs in his last 9 games with a plate appearance after just 2 home runs in his first 66. You see Tyrone Taylor at the bottom?
There we go.
Well, Taylor, before he got traded, he was doing similar things.
You just don't want to wake up. It's like a beautiful dream. Fetty, most of Fetty's numbers came as a pitcher for the Washington Nationals.
Fetty and Newcomb both first-round picks in 2014. Fetty a first-round pick of those Nats. Going is A.J. Ewing, and fouled off is Torrens.
There's nothing Torrens could do with 2 strikes, but Ewing had the biggest lead he's gotten all season long.
Ewing last night made things happen. Got on with a leadoff base hit in the first, stole second, and scored on the RBI base hit from Carson Bench. The 2-2. Eric Fetty's last outing, 4 2/3 scoreless in a similar role against the Cubs on Tuesday. He's had 12 starts this year, 15 relief appearances. Right up the middle, but perfectly played as Mydroth takes it himself and turns 2. Hard hit ball by Torrens, but right at the second baseman.
Well, we always talk about that big space between the first baseman and second baseman, that Torrens can hit that hole. Well, that's why they put him up the middle to turn 2 and get 2 outs for the White Sox.
2 outs now, nobody on. Back to the top of the order. Francisco Lindor led off today's game with a double, and he takes a sweeper for a strike. Lindor's had a lot of success against Fetty, 8 for 25 in his career.
is the pitch usage for Fetty. Lots of sweepers, 2 seamers. He'll use that changeup mostly against the left-handed hitters.
He's been really good against lefties since July 11th. Lefties hitting just .212 against him. Driven out to deep right field. Going back is Montgomery, and that is over his head against the wall. Lindor thought about it, but the ball hits so hard that he has to stay at first.
Well, Steve, you mentioned it before. Braden Montgomery in right field. He might not have as good an arm as Benj, but it's close. And this ball was a hanging breaking ball by Fetty. That had too much topspin on it. That's why it stayed in the ballpark. It had the verve or nerve to hit off the wall, come back right to Montgomery, and he gets it in quickly.
So Lindor's success against Fetty continues. Bo Bichette's also had a lot of career success against Fetty, and he's swinging first pitch, drives it out to right center field. Going back is Peters, and just in front of the wall makes the grab to retire the side. Through 2.5, still scoreless. Picture perfect Sunday afternoon at Wright Field in Chicago. Rubber game between the Mets and the White Sox, and I think that's real.
Wait a minute. Do I have my phone, keys? Do I have my tickets? Beer. Okay, good. Let's go.
Tristan Peters, Jake Rogers, and Sam Antonacci due up in the third. Yesterday we saw J.J. Bleday hit for the cycle. 4th player this season to hit for a cycle. Tristan Peters was one of the other 3.
That's right.
Hit for the cycle July 10th against the Athletics. He was the 5th player in Major League history to do that as the 9-hitter, and completed it in the most exciting way possible. Triple that he really had to push for in the 7th. Down the line, this is foul. Tristan Peters last night 1 for 3 with a home run. Come out of nowhere for this team. An all-star this year. McClain misses high with the fastball. Four strikeouts through the first 8 batters as McClain gets Peters looking on the curve.
You know, this morning I was just thinking about his 33 starts. This is his 34th for McClain. So I wanted to put him up against the best of the best, DeGrom, Gooden, and Seaver. And take a look, you people at home, like anything that stands out for you. One of the greatest power pitchers of all time, Seaver, has the least amount of strikeouts. That was mind-boggling to me.
By a lot.
I mean, crazy. But you see the numbers just to let you know where this young man fits with all these great pitchers. Pretty nice fit.
Jake Rogers 2 check swing foul balls as McClain quickly ahead 0-2. Jake Rogers, of course, the hero in game 1 of this series with a walk-off 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th.
I want to thank Michael Stam in our truck who put that together with the help of our statistical interns, Dave Freed and Doug Mittler.
Well, Dave Freed was off first 2 games this weekend, and he's back on today, and it's like he is so energized that he's not just giving me stats here on this iPad. He is answering every one of your questions.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. McClain gets strikeout number 5, just paints the corner. 2 away.
And what question did he answer?
Well,
this?
so the first one is you asked if A.J. Ewing ran track.
Yeah.
He did run track, according to Dave Freed. Was one of the fastest sprinters in high school.
There we go.
And then we saw the dog and the waffles on the cleats of Nolan McClain.
Yep.
McClain's dog's name is Waffles.
Dave really needs to take a walk on the beach like every once in a while. Maybe live life. Enjoy the fresh air. He's the best. He is simply the best, Dave Fried. We always make fun of him.
He's typing something else right now. He says, I am in Fort Lauderdale Beach right now.
There he goes.
Antonacci serves this one into left field. That's a base hit. So the first hit of the afternoon against Nolan McLean.
Well, a little fastball that usually runs a little more than that, and I think that's why Antonacci was able to get a base hit. You know, coming into this game and watching McLean in the first couple of innings, he had that kind of stuff, if you know what I mean. But Antonacci with the base hit here with 2 outs.
Can I just put a bow on this Dave Fried conversation, because what he just did, it worries me now. Mineta Murakami takes ball 1. He wrote he, and then in parentheses typed out cute emoji. He didn't send the emoji, he typed out cute emoji.
There's Dave. I didn't know there was a bobblehead of Dave Fried. I think he's he-ing about the intern comment.
Meanwhile, McLean, after striking out the first 2 batters of this inning, has fallen behind Antonacci and now Murakami 2-0. Murakami struck out looking in the first. And it's 3-0.
Murakami's had such a rough go of it. 1 for his last 21. He might be swinging 3-0 here.
And he is. Swings through. Well, this series, there have been 12 home runs hit by 10 different players, and Murakami, the big slugger, not one of them. McLean works back from 3-0 to 3-2.
So he's thrown 2 fastballs to get back into the count. I wonder if he'll try to freeze him with that breaking ball here, 3-2.
There goes Antonacci, and that one misses inside. 2 men on. Well, here comes Miguel Vargas, who has had just an unbelievable series thus far. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to short, but in the first 2 games, on base 8 times in 9 plate appearances. Was walked 4 times yesterday. Friday had a double and a home run. Challenge. Luis Torrens.
Catcher's challenge to call on the ball.
Just the little things. As you see the Mets challenge, that's a strike. Good one by Torrens. Let's look at the overhead, the Murakami pitch on 3-2. Torrens is giving the target almost into the body of Murakami. Why? Because he wants to make sure if he misses inside, not over the plate, because of the power of Murakami.
Really good catch. Cutter misses up 1-1. Well, Murakami, despite the recent slump, already has more home runs than any rookie out of Japan in Major League history with 29. Vargas also a threat as he takes the fastball outside. Also has 29 home runs this season.
Most important pitch so far of this afternoon for McLean.
And he gets a strike right at the top of the zone. 2-2.
That was a good pitch. Cutter right there. Vargas didn't like it, but he has an option to challenge it.
23rd pitch of the inning coming. That'll reach the seats. Miguel Vargas having a breakout 2026. First All-Star game this year. Last 9 games hitting .419 coming into today. And just reaches out to stay alive.
I mean, it's a pitcher's pitch, as good as it gets, just gets it off the end of the bat. And when you're having a good year, that's what happens. You foul that pitch off to live another day. I would double up on the breaking ball only because he has seen a lot of cutters and fastballs up and away. So I think that Vargas is feeling the heat, so maybe he can throw him that curveball and end the at bat. It's Dustin Kelly, just Derek Kelly, sorry, just telling McLean to engage with the hitter.
Second most extra base hits in the American League. Yordan Alvarez, the favorite to an MVP. And again, Vargas just gets a piece.
Vargas just has that stance where he's just so relaxed, so comfortable.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming to Vargas. Good eye.
You're really just seeing in this at-bat why he's having such a great year. To be able to lay off that pitch is something.
Here's the payoff. Taken inside and the challenge by Terens, but I think that one was inside.
It was the right choice. I don't know if they caught the plate though, and they didn't. It was the right choice. Everything was away. They came in hard on that 3-2 pitch, just didn't make the pitch.
Bases now loaded for who else but Andrew Benintendi. Last night, as Justin Willard takes a trip out to the mound, last night Benintendi came up 3 times with the bases loaded. Mets were able to limit the damage with him up though. Had 1 sac fly, but nothing else.
What's been interesting about McLean's year is that he will come out of the gates and everything is so precise, and then he'll have that one inning where it all seems to kind of escape him for 2 or 3 hitters. He's just so good with runners on base, he usually gets out of it, but he puts himself in trouble 1 or 2 times a game because of his controls a bit off.
Well, the really interesting thing about McLean is when you speak to him, he'll reference how sometimes he will lose it like this. But he is so confident that his thought every single pitch is, I'm about to find it.
Yeah. Well, you got to be that way, or
so Benintendi now, bases loaded. Taken for a strike.
You know, when Bartolo Colon pitched for the Mets, I used to always say I just admired his way because he could control the movement of his pitches. I think that's the most difficult part for McLean. His ball just moves all over the place, and harnessing that can be difficult.
There's that good curveball, 0-2. Well, despite the results last night, Benintendi a career .367 hitter with the bases loaded.
I mean, that's just unhittable at times.
Got him looking, the sinker, and Nolan McLean gets out of the bases loaded jam unscathed. Top 4 still scoreless because Nolan McLean made this pitch with the bases loaded.
Perfect pitch. You see the target is high and inside. Because if he starts it where the target for Terens was, it becomes a perfect pitch, and he freezes Benintendi.
Pitching decisions presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. Here's Carson Benj.
McLean pitches like a gunslinger, you know. He just
looks like one too. Benj 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the first. First at bat though against Fetty after Sean Newcomb opened with some success. Hot shot off the mound and nicely picked by Colson Montgomery. That was difficult. The high hop and then quick pick for out number 1.
Yeah, the read here is that this is going to be a 2-hopper, but once it hits the mound, it goes up in the air and it became a short hop play for Montgomery, so he had to make that adjustment. Nicely done.
Now Luis Robert Jr. struck out to end the first inning after a 2-home run game last night. Second Met this season with a multi-home run game against his former team as he gets fooled on that changeup. Juan Soto had the other against the Nationals on May 20th. Scorched into center field, a hard base hit. Luis Roberts' good series continues.
It is pretty remarkable the Mets are having some of their best offensive part of the season with Soto down, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's because guys like Robert Jr. and Bo Bichette, and we showed you in the graphic, these guys have become hot in August.
Well, Bichette and Robert Jr. 3 home runs last night. The Mets in August 31 home runs, as we're going to get a pinch hitter right now for Eric Wagaman. Jared Young up, and that makes total sense with the righty on and Eric Fetty. So it's kind of a reverse pinch hit, you know, like the bullpen went first. So you would have pinch hit Wagaman.
That's right.
For Young. Young with 2 doubles last night. But what I was saying is that the Mets have 31 home runs in August. That's the second most home runs in Major League Baseball behind the Cubs. They've got the 3rd highest slugging percentage in the league. And when they score 5 or more runs like they did last night, the Mets are 40-5 this year. To first base, Murakami to second for 1, on to first. Did he come off the bag? He did. So Jared Young safe at first base as Murakami can't get the foot down.
That was a really good play by Murakami. Not his fault. He did everything right. Right-handers, it's a little tougher play. He got rid of it so quickly. Just the throw was high by Colson Montgomery. You know, when you get rid of it that quickly, Benj didn't have a chance to get inside. Or sorry, Robert Jr. inside on that grass.
2 away now, Christopher Morel. He struck out in the second start for the Mets. Big hole in the right side. Well, the Mets have gone 12-5 since that trade deadline, and the offense is a huge reason why. There goes Young, the throw down, got him. So a nice throw from Jake Rogers to nab Jared Young. We head to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless.
Expertise.
Through 3 innings, Nolan McLean already 6 strikeouts. Got out of a huge jam in that 3rd after loading the bases with 2 outs. Jared Young stays in to play first base after pinch hitting for Eric Wagaman in the top of the inning. Braden Montgomery leads off, first pitch swinging, of course, right to Young. Nice backhand, underhand toss, 1 away.
Ball will find you as soon as you get in the game.
That's right. That's what happens.
He's ready to go. Sunglasses on for. He got stuck there. His feet didn't really move, so he had to reach for it with the backhand, but made the play nonetheless.
Of all the impressive things that Jared Young has done this year, his defensive improvement probably doesn't get talked about enough. He's been one of the best defensive first basemen, at least in terms of defensive runs saved in Major League Baseball. And that was not a strength.
Yeah.
Colson Montgomery now, one of the 6 strikeout victims for McLean. Popped up. Going back is Simeon. Converging on it are Ewing and Benj. Ewing calls off Benj. 2 down. Take your Mets fandom on the go with the Mets Fanny Pack, free for the first 15,000 fans at the August 26th game. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. I think they're listening to our broadcast right now.
Well, if you put it, if you put some soft stuff in your fanny pack, you can use it as a pillow when you come to the game.
Chase Mydrop now just gets out of the way of that one.
That was nasty. That was coming right at his ankle bone.
Huge hack on another sinker. 1-1.
This young player for the White Sox is feisty. He reminds me a little bit of Dustin Pedroia.
That's going to go foul.
In his feistiness, you know, Dustin's one of the great players to ever play this game. Mydroth built out of that same cloth.
Well, Mydroth originally in that Red Sox organization. He came over from Boston in the Garrett Crochet deal. Kyle Teal and Braden Montgomery as well. Ground ball to the left side. Waiting on it is Bichette. Strong throw. And McLean gets the White Sox 1-2-3 in the 4th.
America.
Pitchers duel so far in this Ford 5th inning recap. Nolan McLean 6 strikeouts through 4 innings. Eric Fetty having success in bulk relief so far after a successful pair of innings from Sean Newcomb.
I mean, that's not a good sign. We already put a 0 up. Nice.
What does that say about? I mean, Brett Beatty's had a really good series. He could go yard here.
Exactly.
He pinch hits for Christopher Morel. So this is interesting because Morel took the at bat to end the 4th inning. Jared Young got thrown out at second, and now Andy Green pinch hitting to start the 5th.
Yeah, so both Wagaman and Morel only got 1 at bat in this game, but you can already see that Andy Green yesterday leaving Scott in the game for another couple of batters. The platoon situations he's using now, so getting a feel for how he likes to manage.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to what we've seen this year from the White Sox. But have you seen that before, where Morel would take the at bat with 2 outs in the inning before, and then since he's technically, that spot is still up, right, to start the next inning, making the switch then?
You don't see it very often, but if I were Morel, I might have a discussion with Jared Young about, you know.
There's a ground ball to Chase Mydroth, who underhand flips. He likes that underhand toss. He's got a little flair to him. We've seen that quite a bit. Marcus Simeon now with 1 away. Simeon takes the sweeper low, 1-0. And it's 2-0. Now, so this is Nancy Faust. And you were telling me a little bit about her before the game, Ron, that one of the most famous organists in the country.
Well, I could tell right away when I got to the ballpark, because you could just, it just sounded like a ballpark from when I started. She's one of the great organists of all time, and she's kind of a groundbreaker. A lot of people say she was the first person to play the walk-up music with the lyrics or song title that was appropriate for certain batters. And also, she's the first one to play, you know, that na 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 hey hey goodbye. She's the first one to play that. So, groundbreaking organist. She retired, but occasionally on Sundays she'll come.
Every game that we've done here has had a distinctly different feel based on the music. So the first night was Elvis night. It was all Elvis.
That's right.
Yesterday was
Puerto Rican Heritage
Night. And then this afternoon, this feels like a classic Sunday afternoon baseball game in the summer.
You could hear the music as soon as you sat in the booth. It was just beautiful. You know, because it's such a great old baseball tradition in this town that, I mean, that's probably what it sounded like 70, 80 years ago when people walked into the park.
Big swing by A.J. Ewing. That's a good sweeper from Fetty. 2-2. In between pitches has the organ going.
Well, you know, every ballpark we go has music in between pitches.
Taken for strike 3 on the outside corner. Good inning for Fetty as he gets the Mets 1-2-3.
X-Pro is ready. Lease a new 2027 Telluride S front wheel drive for $429 a month plus $750 owner loyalty or competitive bonus.
I don't know about that. Cubs fan, Sox fan.
We see that in New York, right?
Is it? Tristan Peters grounds out. That's a nicely played ball by Marcus Semien. I wonder if there's as much vitriol here, if you live here, as there is Mets Yankees.
Oh, I think so. I definitely think so.
It's Midwest, though, you know?
That's all the baseball stuff. But, you know, this South Side is just so interesting when you compare it to the North Side. It's like North Side's lakefront. Here it's industrial. You got yuppie on the North Side. You got working class here. You got deep dish on the North Side. You got rib tips here. So it's just a really kind of cool difference in one city that could be so different.
Well, we were curious because you come here all the time and you think, all right, North Side, South Side, North Side, South Side. But like, what is the line of demarcation there?
Well, I think that it's up for discussion. Some people say the Chicago River. I think what I've heard from people is Madison State in that area. Madison State Streets, sorry. Because post offices will list anything north of Madison as North Michigan or whatever. But they're different because of how they've been populated. You know, the great migration that came here of Southern blacks who were trying to escape like unthinkable conditions with Jim Crow laws and all of that stuff. I mean, to find, better opportunities. They had the steel mills here. They had the meat packing, Pullman trains. They had all of those things that were just made Chicago a haven for people that were looking for a better chance of life. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It's incredibly cool, and more so to me because when you understand that history, you see how still in the city today it is followed through as Jake Rogers skies one to deep left field. Giving it a look is Robert, and he jumps at the wall to reel it in. Jake Rogers coming ever so close to his second home run of the series.
I mean, the ball just carries here. Each and every time it's up in the air, the outfielders go to a spot, and then they have to drift back, and the 6'4" Robert Jr. makes that play look easier than it was.
But what I was saying is just, it's almost 200 years now since migration of immigrants started, and it's still to this day clearly two separate entities. If you go into the different parts of the city, you can experience such different things.
But different is really great and vital.
Absolutely.
In the history of this town. If you ever want to read a book, it's one of the greatest books I've ever read, The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson, and it'll really give you a taste and feel of what it was like when people were migrating here.
Well, our producer, Greg Picker, was very interested in the geography, because we don't talk about it enough. A pitch taken inside. And he sent us, with the geography of this city, he sent us some news and notes. And apparently, it was in 1830, surveyor James Thompson, you all know him quite well, I'm sure. He was the one who originally divided Chicago into the northwest and south sides. Not sure why there was no east side, but he used the Chicago River as the natural boundary.
Now 4 walks from McLean this afternoon, or maybe might have hit him, because Antonacci has been hit 23 times. That might have been his 24th. Correa was on the phone. Did it hit him? And apparently it did.
Breaks up a string of 6 in a row retired for McLean.
A little breaking ball. Antonacci stays in there, and it clipped his uniform and knee. So yes, hit by pitch.
So here's Murakami now with 2 strikes, 2 outs, I should say. There's 1 strike. It's going to be a challenge. Murakami knows the strike zone incredibly well, so let's see. This is going to be close. And he's right. Our mics are pretty good here.
He said McLean also tests the eyesight of hitters, because he has that crisscross working. What do I mean by that? He has pitches that start off the plate. If you're a hitter, you recognize it as a ball that end up being strikes. And he has pitches with movement that start out as strikes that you offer at, but they end up as balls.
Ground ball right to Young. He knocks it down and just steps on first. Hard hit ball by Murakami, but 5 innings of scoreless work from McLean. Luis Torrens leads off in the top of the 6th. The polar opposite game this afternoon to yesterday. 10-5 final. Ground ball from Torrens. One hand by Montgomery. Tosses over to first for out number 1. 7 home runs in that game last night. And we're scoreless in the 6th. Around the Majors, presented by New York Presbyterian. Top prospect in all of baseball, Cade Anderson, yesterday, 5 2/3, 3 earned runs in his debut, but that was the Randy Arozarena game. 2 home runs, including a walk-off. Phillies 8 straight wins now. They're only out 3 in the NL East as the Braves continue to scuffle. And that third note, I don't need to say much about that. Mets fans, they know.
Don't rub it in.
No, I'm not trying to. And Giancarlo Stanton, he rehabbing, coming back from a calf injury, injures the other calf, and now his return this season very much in question for the Yankees. Phillies, if they want to make it 9 straight, are going to have to come from behind today. They're down 4-0 in the middle of the 7th against the Cardinals.
You know, you casually mentioned that Arozarena game. He led off with a home run. He robbed a home run. And he walked off the Cubs.
Eric Fetty, quick off the mound, takes it himself. 2 down.
That's the second time that's been done, like in 10 days.
Yeah.
Pete Crow Armstrong, who was in Seattle, just did it recently as well. I think Gary was saying on one of the broadcasts after Pete Crow Armstrong had done it, Vic Power was the last person to do it many moons ago.
And now you've got 2 in the span of a short amount of time.
Right.
2 away for Bo Bichette. 12-game on base streak. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Well, the Phillies have won 8 in a row. The Royals have won 7 in a row.
Wow. A little too late for the Royals.
Similar trajectory to what we're seeing with the Mets. Fooled Bichette, tied him up.
What was interesting about the Royals when Kimbrel with the save.
1, 2, 3 in the 6th.
Mr. Met at the Unisphere Light Up Bobblehead. Get your tickets at Mets.com.
Still scoreless, bottom 6. Miguel Vargas against Nolan McLean. And we just mentioned Giancarlo Stanton and the injury. Well, look at this. This is almost uncanny, the resemblance between the 2 of them.
Oh, my God. Almost peeking over that protector of their helmet. Straight up and down. Neutral stance.
Popped up in foul territory. Jared Young calls off McLean and Terrens. And there's 1 down.
About the same distance off the plate. I mean, if you want to be a power hitter, why don't you be like Stanton? And then the glare at the pitcher, like he's going to take him down. Vargas has this year.
Andrew Benintendi, 0 for 2 today. One of 6 strikeout victims for Nolan McLean. But after striking out 6 through the first 3, it's been a different program for McLean the last couple innings. Tied up, fouled off. Just 1 hit against McLean so far. Changeup. Fools Benintendi, 1 and 2.
Benintendi's like, okay, I've swung at a curveball. He's painted me inside. Now I didn't even know he had a changeup, so he gets the kick change. See if he goes back inside with that target. If he doesn't, probably thinking breaking ball.
Went with the curve. Exactly right, Ron.
Every once in a while he tries to really rip one off, and he missed badly.
Got Benintendi looking with the bases loaded to end the 3rd. And back to back with the curve. Full count. And he walked Benintendi. So just 1 hit against McLean, but that's the 6th base runner. 4th walk given up by McLean, and he hit Antonacci in the last inning.
I only know this because I did it too many times myself. Sometimes as a pitcher you get too cute, you know, and he's got great movement on his fastball. In a nothing game, you do not want to put on a hitter with a walk. So maybe take your chances. Something down and away.
Braden Montgomery swinging first pitch. That's into the netting. Montgomery 0 for 1. He walked back in the 2nd. Good sweeper by McLean, 0-2. Braden Montgomery, all the tools. First round pick, 12th overall in 24 of the Red Sox. He was, again, part of that crochet deal that's worked out so well for the White Sox. Soft ground ball, going to second for one, on to first, not in time. 2 down. So here's a look at that American League Central. The White Sox still in control, up 3.5 games on the Guardians. Chicago's lost 4 of 6. They only have one series left against the team over 500. That's the Cardinals. 5 of their final 10 series come against the AL Central, 2 against Minnesota and 1 against Cleveland.
Minnesota in danger of getting swept in San Diego. Lost the first 2 games of that series.
Colson Montgomery, first pitch swinging. Simeon on the backhand, throws cross body and makes the play. Still no score as we head to the 7th.
LX.
Offense at a premium this afternoon. We head to the 7th, still scoreless. Carson Benj leads off for the Mets and takes a sinker inside from Eric Fetty, who has retired the last 6 Mets batters. You know, this is the second stint in a White Sox uniform for Eric Fetty. He remember he went to the KBO in 2023 and reestablished his value, so signed that 2-year deal with the White Sox before the 24 season. But he was traded midway through that year as his sweeper just nicks the outside corner, 2-1. Part of a 3-team trade with the Cardinals and the Dodgers. And that was the trade that brought Miguel Vargas to the White Sox.
Wow.
And now they're teammates again as Fetty re-signed with the White Sox on a 1-year deal this offseason.
So Fetty served a couple of purposes for this time here in Chicago.
Denel Nunez getting warm in the Mets pen, so we'll see if that's it for Nolan McLean.
91 pitches, I think, for McLean. I would think that'd be it.
And if it is, another really good outing for McLean. 17th time this season. As Benj fouls that off.
Mets are trying to go back to back with Nunez as well.
Yeah, 17th time this season though that McLean's gone 6 or more innings. The rest of the Mets staff combined has only done it 26 times.
I mean, it's not easy to be the ace after 34 starts, but he is.
Benj into left field. Backing up is Antonacci. He's not a natural outfielder, and that's a ground rule double as it hops over the fence. So Antonacci took a weird route to that. Didn't look like he read it properly. He had never played the outfield before this season.
Well, he was playing too shallow for Benj, who really has power that way. So with the carry of the ball in this ballpark and Antonacci playing so shallow, he had no chance to catch that ball.
Part of the reason Antonacci started the season in AAA was so that he could learn the outfield. Has yet to make an error out there, but the metrics have not been good. Big opportunity now for Robert. Luis Robert, one of the Mets' 5 hits on the afternoon. He's had a hit in every game this series in his return to the South Side. Takes that changeup down and in.
Well, in a scoreless game, you would think that you might have some situational baseball here. Well, he did have a home run to right center yesterday, so you'd like that approach at least for the power hitting Robert.
Lays off the sweeper. 3-1 to Robert. Mets 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. Second and third and fourth batters of the game. Luis Robert works the walk, and the Mets have the first 2 base runners on. Between innings, looks like McLean is done getting the handshakes.
Heck of an effort by the youngster. Fun to watch.
ERA down to 3.21, and that's a good teammate. Christian Scott making sure McLean's hydrated after that outing. We'll get a pitching change. Eric Fetty done with 2 on in the 7th. Hagen Smith, next pitcher up for the White Sox, and this kid has a lot of talent. The 5th overall pick in 2024. He's working out of the bullpen as a rookie, but he is going to be a future part of the starting rotation. Corners in for Jared Young with 2 on and nobody out, and Young challenges that strike call.
Now you might be asking at home, why is Jared Young not bunting here in a 0-0 game? Well, if you bunted, so you see that ball was a ball. Good job by Young. If he did bunt, then you have Beatty up. And I think the way that it's worked out this year, Young is your better opportunity to get a big base hit.
And he's been great in these spots. 340 batting average with runners in scoring position.
Control has been an issue for the young Hagen Smith so far.
This is the first time the Mets have had 2 runners on base in the same inning. You know, they'd love to punch one across, give McLean a chance at a win after that outing.
Absolutely taking here 3-0. You have to make this youngster throw a strike.
Taken all the way, just catches the knees. 3-1. Fouled back. So Smith has come back from 3-0 down. It's full count. Smith last pitched on Thursday in that makeup game against the Braves. Went an inning and a third. Faced 4 batters, struck out 3, just 15 pitches used. And he gets a strikeout of Young. Nice breaking ball from Smith.
Wow.
1 down.
Well, you were raving about his arm. Got back in the count, and then this beautiful breaking ball from Smith. Young was way out in front.
So now we have a pinch hitter. Brett Beatty out, Francisco Alvarez in. Alvarez last night 1 for 4 with a walk. At bats looked much better. Takes that slider for a strike. See Alvarez's numbers as a pinch hitter this season. That one just clips the corner. 0-2. Not a lot of success from Alvarez as a pinch hitter in his career.
Well, he almost hit by a pitch there on the 0-2 pitch. This kid's arm could be a difference maker if this White Sox team makes it to the postseason.
And that one catches the outside corner for strike 3. So Hagen Smith coming on in a really big spot. He has struck out the first 2 batters he's faced.
Alvarez didn't take the bat off his shoulder. Took 3 strikes from Hagen Smith.
Pitching coach Zach Bove coming out to have a conversation with Smith. Just his 6th appearance for the White Sox. Already 12 strikeouts.
I mean, everyone is different and wants to treat their pitchers different. If I were a pitching coach and a young pitcher came off 2 consecutive strikeouts, I would leave him alone. I wouldn't talk to him. Just keep riding that wave that he's on.
One more out to go, but it is Marcus Semien who has been good all year in these situations and good in this series. He's had a couple of singles to score a run, one in each of the last 2 games. You're going to get a challenge from Jake Rogers.
Catcher shot out of the ball.
Semien's telling Rogers that was outside. Let's see. Outside and down.
Call on the field is confirmed. Chicago has 1 channel for me.
Each team down a challenge. Mets' only bench player left is Christian Pache. That ground ball is foul.
Very interesting. Right before that pitch came in, Mydroth raised his arms at second base like maybe a pickoff play from the catcher Rogers if the ball was swung through.
Slider gets away from Smith. 2-1.
He's probably raising his arms as well because Benj has got some histrionics out there at second base. Maybe when he catches location, he jumps up and down. Doesn't jump up and down now.
Fouls the 4-seam back. Smith 1 strike away now from getting out of the jam.
Again, though, you got the right man up. Semien has been really good with people on base, runners in scoring position.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Hagen Smith comes on with 2 on and nobody out. Proceeds to strike out 3 batters in a row. Denel Nunez on to pinch, not on to pinch, on to pitch for the Mets here in the 7th after 6 scoreless from Nolan McLean, who now has a 1.97 ERA in his last 10 starts. The bunt. Bichette lets it go foul. So Mydroth trying to make something happen.
Well, it's back-to-back for Nunez, but a softer landing spot, right? Bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9. Proper play here by Bo. Ball had a lot of spin on it. That would have been hard to make the play and make the proper throw with Mydroth flying down first.
Nolan McLean, 6+ innings now in 11 of his last 12 starts and 2 earned runs or fewer in 13 of his last 15.
I'm impressed every 5 days with the young McLean.
And I've spoken to Andy Green about him quite a bit. As Nunez gets Mydroth to swing through the high slider 0-2. And one of the things we've noted with Andy Green is how he really likes to push his young players. But he understands Mydroth over to the left side, Bichette across the diamond for the first out. He understands that you're going to push different guys in different ways because skill sets have different ceilings.
That's right.
And the thing he always talks about with Nolan McLean is that he wants to push him to be the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. He thinks he has that type of a ceiling.
I don't disagree with him. And I think that and he's doing that by getting him at least through 6 each and every time. 7 will be the next goal.
Tristan Peters swings through the fastball. Peters 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. Back-to-back fastballs blown by Peters. Nunez ahead 0-2.
I love when Nunez uses that fastball. He throws 96 plus. It's good enough to get hitters out, and it even makes his slider even better.
That one into right field for a base hit. So he goes to the slider, and Peters is on it. White Sox have a base runner out in the 7th.
It's not the wrong choice. It's the bad execution. When you're ahead 0-2, that ball's got to be in the dirt. You want the hitter to swing at a pitch that's not in the strike zone. That was center cut, and he got that ball past Young.
That'll bring up the hero of game 1 of this series, Jake Rogers. Walk-off 2-run shot in the bottom of the 9th on Friday night. Peters thinking about it.
Well, Peters is on the run. He's going to try to steal it back here.
Peters 6 for 8 stolen base attempts this season. That was Friday night. As unlikely a hero as you were going to get. Jake Rogers, have been hitting under 200 the last 3 seasons. Comes through to complete the comeback from 4-0 down to 6-4 winners for the White Sox. Just a crazy season. Crazy few weeks for Jake Rogers. DFA'd by Detroit at the end of July. Baltimore picked him up. Then he was traded to Boston. Ooh, Nunez thought he had that one. And then DFA'd by Boston and claimed by the White Sox. All of that happening in the span of 22 days. There goes Peters. He's in there safely. And the White Sox have the go-ahead run in scoring position.
They just checked if it was a check swing or a swing, and it was a swing by Rogers. First base umpire confirmed it, so a strikeout of Rogers. A strikeout and not a throw.
Strike him out, don't throw him out. So 2 away, scoreless game in the 7th. Back to the top of the order for Sam Antonacci. Here's the road ahead. Your radio home for the Mets is 8:80 a.m. and streaming on the free Odyssey app. You look at what's coming up. That is a difficult road for the Mets. All division leaders. The Brewers have just been ridiculous this season. Tampa right now in the 8th inning ahead of the Orioles. You saw them. Mets will be going there in a week. They are one-hitting the Orioles right now.
Antonacci coming into this game, .348 average with wrist. Tough out. He's had a lot of big hits.
Been on base twice this afternoon. Singled in the 3rd, was hit by the pitch in the 5th. Two and 0. Double barrel action. Jeffrey Yan joins Daniel Duarte in the Mets pen. Ground ball just foul. Very close.
You Mets fans know this, but the best arm in the outfield is Bench in right field with his 103-mile-an-hour howitzer. But in left field, Robert Jr., his arm will come into play a little better there than it would in center field.
Tried to hold up, did not. 2-2. Popped up into right field. That should do it, and it does. Carson Benj pulls it in, and Dednell Nunez keeps it scoreless.
This is how
Only on SNY.
It's time for the mobile performance. Mets had 2 runners on, nobody out in the last inning, and then Hagen Smith came on and just struck out the next 3 batters in order. And that's what Hagen Smith does. It made him the 5th overall pick just a couple years ago. This kid is electric. His junior year at Arkansas, he averaged. A.J. Ewing pops it up in foul territory, giving chases Vargas, and just out of his reach off the tarp. But he averaged 17.3 strikeouts per 9 innings that year for Arkansas. 17.3, 161 strikeouts in 84 innings pitched.
Wow, it's Randy Johnson like. He's got a great arm. His debut on August 9th, he went 2 innings in that ball game.
And that's a nifty little cross body grab by Smith for the first out.
How did he do that? Glove is on his right hand. He fields it off his left hip. That's amazing.
Ball had a little English on it. Did you see the way that it hit the dirt and then kind of bounced over to the left side, and Smith adjusted?
Yeah, the ball caught him. He didn't catch the ball.
Luis Torrens now takes a fastball right down the middle for strike 1. Torrens 0 for 2. The 0-2 from Smith. Off the end of the bat to the right side. Chase Meidroth, I should say, to first. 2 away. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official health and wellness partner of the New York Mets. By your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. And by Jake's 58, where Long Island wins. Ah, the King. Now, why are we showing Patrick Kane scoring on the King?
We're in Chicago.
I don't care. It's a New York broadcast.
You're too sensitive, Steve.
Only with that.
Open your mind.
Only with that. Open your mind. Top of the order now, Francisco Lindor. 2-hit day. Is that a Spider-Man bat? Sure looks like it on Players Weekend. That's pretty cool.
You know, the players all have these custom cleats and bats, and they'll auction all of this equipment off so they can raise money for their individual charities. That's the best part of the Players Weekend.
Smith falls behind 3-0.
It's the Appreciation Sunday for the Players Weekend. This is where the players try to honor, pay homage to those people that helped them get here. Not only their parents, but others, coaches, etc.
Good cutter from Smith. Popped up into shallow right field. It's Meidroth making the grab. Hagen Smith impressive again in the 8th. From Queens to the Bronx, our team of baseball insiders has all the hot takes on the latest Mets and Yankees news on Baseball Night in New York, weeknights at 6 p.m. only on SNY. Tight ball game here as we head to the bottom of the 8th, and Daniel Duarte, who has been sensational for the Mets in 17 appearances, tries to keep it scoreless. Facing the heart of the order, and Murakami, Vargas, Benintendi.
Batter time to call it a strike.
Murakami's going to set a record. He's going to use the ABS challenge once in each of his at-bats. Loses this one.
And that's the final challenge for the White Sox. They're out now.
When you think about lanes for relief pitchers, this is the most difficult one, and they've asked Duarte to go through it.
Duarte pitched game 1 of this series. Got 2 outs on 8 pitches. Be interesting to see if the Mets take the lead if Kodai Senga is available after throwing 23 pitches last night. Taken low. Nolan McLean went 6 innings, 1 hit, shutout ball. Daniel Nunez came on with a scoreless 7th. Now it's up to Duarte. Fouled back 2-2. Lorenz felt that one. Here's your high-speed hitting presented by Spectrum. All 3 from the Mets. Luis Robert almost 115 miles an hour on that white-hot single up the middle in the 4th. Struck him out. The sweeper gets Murakami. Murakami's 2nd strikeout today. 1 down.
He just has the ability to read bats, change speeds. He's got a few different breaking balls. If they've seen too much of the cutter, he then goes to the curveball, which he did there. Just really intelligent pitching by Duarte.
And Duarte has now retired the first batter in all 18 appearances he's had this season. Check swing foul. Miguel Vargas. Just attacks guys. I mean, that's pretty incredible. 18 consecutive times that he has retired the first batter.
That is a great note. And that's why he's been so successful, or part of the reason he has been.
Vargas, the most dangerous hitter in this lineup, though. 1-1.
He's also got some deception, Steve. Kind of hides the ball. I don't think the hitters pick it up.
And what makes you think that? Just watching them swing, the swings they take?
The swings, even on pitches that are not Duarte's best, which rarely happens, they still have awkward swings at.
Good eye by Vargas. It's 3-1. Vargas 1 walk already this afternoon. He walked a career high 4 times last night. The cutter past Vargas, full count.
So this is a hitter's pitch. That ball is kind of center cut away enough, but the speed, he was out in front. It's like he has the hitters on a seesaw, back and forth, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to carve them up with a fastball inside. He has slowed his bat now down, and now maybe surprise him inside with a fastball.
Vargas turns on that fastball, deposits it into left field. 1 out, 1 on for the Sox.
And you got to give credit to Vargas. What an at bat. And that's why he's having an MVP kind of season. Ball was down, ball was away, and still put a good swing on it.
10th time this series Miguel Vargas has been on base. Now Andrew Benintendi 0 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. Vargas 12 for 14 this season on stolen base attempts. Those Phillies, man. Said they were down 4-0.
Yeah.
4-4 now.
Wow.
In the 9th inning, scored 4 runs, and they're still up to bat against the Cardinals. Vargas stays put as Duarte comes in for strike 1.
Boy, this is a good hardball game today. It really is. A lot of good stuff happening.
Turned on by Benintendi. That is down off the base of the wall. Kicks away from Benj. Let's see that howitzer of an arm. Coming around is Vargas, and he slides in safe. Andrew Benintendi coming through with the RBI base hit. The White Sox have taken the lead in the 8th.
Well, first, the hanging cutter here from Duarte in the middle of the plate. Benintendi got it with a lot of topspin. So this ball, when it hits the wall, it hits right at the bottom, and that sends it back into play. And by the time Benj gets to it, although if it had been a strike to the plate, I think he's got Vargas.
They're calling it a double for Benintendi. Advanced to third on the throw. And now there's a pinch runner for Benintendi at third base. It's the former Met Luis Angel Acuna. Infield in.
Well, here's a chip around the bases for Vargas. All right, he's going all out here. Once he locates the balls over the head of Benj, he's going to pick up his third base coach. Once he does, he takes a peek, and because the throw was just a bit off, he was able to get in.
1-1 the count against Braden Montgomery.
And there's the contact out in front by Benintendi. That's why that ball is pulled down the line.
Ron, with the speed of Acuna, would you think the contact plays on?
100%. You can always tell. If you watch the first pitch, Steve, you'll see what kind of secondary lead they take. And if they take a very aggressive, it means they're coming. With his speed, you got to come.
Montgomery tried to challenge that strike, and it may have been a little low, but the White Sox out of challenges after Murakami lost his first at bat of this inning. That'll go foul.
And Benintendi is a veteran. He realizes what's going on. He'll pick up his coach here. He'll realize what's going on, that Benj is trying to throw out the run that'll put the White Sox ahead, so you just take the extra base.
Tried to hold up, and he did. Phillies walked it off. Kyle Schwarber, walk-off home run. 9 in a row. The 2-2. Just gets a piece. Got him looking on the inside corner. 2 down.
What a good pitch there. And you can push the limit a little bit now because they have no more challenges. Fastball right on that inside corner. A little bit of tail to come back over the inside corner of the plate. Well done by Duarte. 1 more to go.
Colson Montgomery now with 2 outs. Mets trying to keep this a 1-run deficit for the heart of the order, due up in the top of the 9th. It'll be Bo Bichette, Carson Benj, and Luis Robert Jr. Pulled the string. 1-1. Colson Montgomery, 36 strikeouts in the month of August to lead Major League Baseball. Cunha off third, 2 outs. Tied him up. Went around. 1-2. Tonight at 11 on Honda Sports Night. Going to preview the Mets' upcoming homestand against the Brewers and the Astros. John Harbaugh recaps Giants preseason week 2. And Connor Hughes joins the show talking all things NFL. Montgomery down swinging again, but not before the White Sox take the lead. Mets trying to tie it up. No one you'd want up more in this spot right now than Bo Bichette. 12-game on-base streak on the line. He's got a solo home run in back-to-back games. Mets could use one right now against Grant Taylor, who pitched a scoreless top of the 9th on Friday in the White Sox win.
Yeah, he got that. He got the win in that game. Only has given up 1 run in his last 16 appearances. Straight over the top.
Bichette, Benj, and Robert. First pitch swinging. Slow roller right to Mydroth. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here are your defensive changes. Tristan Peters moves from center to left. Brenton Doyle on for defense in center. Grant Taylor, obviously the new pitcher. Here's Carson Benj. Benj doubled to lead off the 7th. That one will go fair. A base hit for Carson Benj as he just gets to that pitch. And the Mets in business now here in the 9th.
Just kind of an excuse me swing. The ball is inside and kind of just fought it off. That's usually a pitch he just ends up with a foul ball, but he drops it in for a hit. Everything coming up roses for Benj.
Benj had a stolen base yesterday, 19 for 23 on the season. Here's Robert. Just outside 1-0. Robert on base twice today. Of course, the big night last night with 2 home runs. When we're done here, Mets postgame live coming up next. Gary Apple, Jim Duquette, and Jose Reyes recap all the day's action. Big hole on the right side for Luis Robert Jr. as they hold on Benj at first. Just off the plate inside. That curveball misses, 2-1. Luis Robert led off that 9th inning against Grant Taylor on Friday with a walk.
What a moment here for Robert Jr.
Good eye from Robert. It's 3-1. And you saw Kodai Senga up in the Mets pen, so he is available after throwing 23 pitches last night. Works a walk. So just like the 7th, Carson Benj and Luis Robert reach base. Benj the tying run at second now with Jared Young coming up. Young had an opportunity in the 7th. He struck out, one of 3 strikeouts back to back by Smith.
And with all the speed on the bases, this is a great way to snatch it back with an extra base hit by Young.
Inside.
Control today, not as it was on Friday from Mr. Taylor.
Holds up. 2-0.
Remember, these White Sox have no challenges, so.
Listen up. Network Mike, no profanity.
Did not go. 3-0 to Jared Young.
A little different pitching in a 1-0 game.
You take a pitch here if you're Young?
Oh, 100%.
And he does, 3-1.
That's right. He's going to get the same pitch, 3-1.
Up the middle, base hit for Jared Young. Rounding third is Carson Benj. He will score without a throw. Jared Young continues to be captain clutch for this team, and the Mets fight right back. We're tied up at 1.
Just love this kind of baseball. Takes the 3-0 pitch, gets the same pitch, 3-1, hits a bullet up the middle. You know Benj is going to score. Just disappointed that Robert Jr. couldn't get the third. I know he played it a little conservative there, and that's probably the play. But if he could have got the third with 1 out, that would have been a big first to third.
Go ahead run now at second base with Francisco Alvarez up for the 2nd time today. Lays off the pitch, 1-0. As you mentioned, Ron, Taylor struggling with his command now.
1-0 games are different. It really tests your mettle.
.99 miles an hour, strike 1.
One mistake is all bad news. You know that when you're trying to close a 1-0 game, and he hasn't been able to do it. Mets in position to snatch this back.
Marcus Semien on deck. Taken low.
Best arm for the White Sox is their right fielder.
Two and 2 after the big swing from Alvarez.
Ball's just not close to a strike.
That's his kryptonite when he gets a little over anxious.
Yep, he'll probably try to throw the same pitch and see if Alvarez will bite again.
Put him away. Put him away.
Lays off, count full. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Swings over top the slider, 2 down.
Well, brave to go with that slider on that 3-2 pitch. It's a perfect pitch that he threw. In a strange way, that pitch slider, if you put that in play, Steve, it's usually a ground ball. And Alvarez hit into a lot of double plays, so this gives him 2 chances. He struck out, but Semien has a chance.
Former White Sox, Marcus Semien, big swing, strike 1. So the lead run played here, and Luis Robert Jr. and Marcus Semien started his career here, trying to play spoiler against their former club. Blocked.
Well, he's one of the best. Just traps it, just dies in front.
Semien an RBI hit in each of the first 2 games of this series. Way high.
Kelly took his mask off. The home plate umpire, that was right at his head. But the catcher was able to get his glove up. Watch the umpire. Oh no, he hit him with his elbow. So that's what knocked his mask sideways.
3-1. Subtle thing too, but it's got to be so difficult, I would imagine, for Jake Rogers. You have one that you have to block in the dirt, and the next one is about 2 feet over your head. Walk, the bases loaded.
Well, now you got to get a visit from the pitching coach, I would think. There you go. Just to give him a rest and reset. And Ewing has a chance now for a huge hit in his rookie season.
There's Kodai Senga waiting his shot. Taylor had not given up an earned run over his last 16 games, 22 innings. That streak broken in the top of the 9th, and now A.J. Ewing trying to push at least one more across.
Ewing trying to push Luis Robert Jr. across for the go-ahead run. That would be something.
And Ewing's going to challenge that. Gets by. Dead ball because of the challenge, I guess.
Sorry, I felt like I was on the bench again there. I was yelling because the catcher had thrown the ball past the pitcher.
I looked at the monitor for half a second because of the challenge, and then I saw you in my peripheral vision jumping out of the chair. No challenges remaining. 0-1 to Ewing. Ooh, almost hit him. Wow.
A big breath there by Taylor. And a timeout by Ewing as he tries to regroup after that fastball in on him.
Ewing 2 for 9 with the bases loaded this year. 2-1.
Well, you would think that he's not going to get a breaking ball here. He can't afford to go 3-1. So Ewing's going to get a fastball here. Time to turn on one.
Late on it.
Yeah, he just throws too hard.
Crowd at right field gets to its feet. What a ball game here this afternoon. And he strikes out Ewing on the high fastball, 99 miles an hour. But the Mets stay alive, tie the game up. Bottom 9, knotted at 1. After throwing 23 pitches in the game last night, out here to try and keep it locked at 1. First time that Senga has pitched on back-to-back days.
It's going to be fun to watch here how Senga responds. Got a couple on yesterday and then responded with some good forkballs. Softer landing again down the bottom of the sword. Remember, Mydroth tried to bunt his last time up in a tie game.
Mydroth faced Senga last night, made the final out of the game, ground out to Bo Bichette. Mydroth, Peters, and Rogers due up. What a game it's been. Scoreless through the first 7.5 innings. Bottom 8. Andrew Benintendi, an RBI double to score Miguel Vargas, and then the Mets strike back in the 9th. Popped up, but that'll reach the seats.
Well, the White Sox have played in a lot of these games all season long. Mydroth broke his bat on that pitch from Senga. New lumber.
Been a heck of a series, a little bit of everything. This game, the polar opposite of last night. And of course, on Friday, the Mets had a 4-0 lead and back-to-back home runs to tie it up from the White Sox. Mydroth, ground ball. Bichette backing up, the long hop, and the nice pick from Jared Young for out number 1.
Bo Bichette has really perfected this play. He just gets rid of it as quick as he catches it and just makes sure it's gone the one bounce. It's a real smart play. It's a play I used to see a lot when I was playing because of the AstroTurf.
And I'm sure he's expecting Mydroth to ground out to him. It's the 3rd time today. Here's Tristan Peters now. Forkball low. Peters 1 for 3. Singled in the 7th. This is low at the fastball, 2-0. To Peters. Peters hit a home run yesterday. Senga gets strike 1. Center field, backing up is Ewing at the track, at the wall, leaping, it's gone. A walk-off home run for Tristan Peters. The 2nd walk-off home run of this series for the White Sox. And they take the series, winning the rubber game 2-1.
We came into this series talking about how do you change the culture of a team that lost 100 games 3 years in a row and only 2 years ago lost 121. Well, you have young players, you have vibrant players, you have energy, and you win all the close ones. And that's what they're doing this year.
And you're getting it from all throughout the lineup. Jake Rogers, the catcher, the 9-hitter with the walk-off home run on Friday, and Tristan Peters, the 8-hitter, doing it today. Both their first career walk-off home runs.
Well, he got into a hitter's count, right? 3-0 through the 3-1 pitch down the middle. Caught the plate there. Peters really reached across the plate. That ball was a couple inches off the plate. And Ewing, another one deflected maybe off his glove like Benji's. Let's take a look. Does it catch a part? Yeah, just the end of his glove, like Benj's, but the momentum puts it in the stands.
It was Tristan Peters with Benj yesterday, too.
Yep.
Same batter. 11th walk-off win this season for the White Sox. For the Mets, their 7th walk-off loss. And there you see the wand right there. That's former Met Mike Vassell, who has created the magic moments this season.
The agony.
Your game summary presented by New York Presbyterian. Really was a phenomenal baseball game all around. Nolan McLean, another strong outing. Tristan Peters, first career walk-off home run. Taylor gets the win. Senga gets the loss as the White Sox take the series 2-1 over the Mets. New York Mets baseball on SMY is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official health and wellness partner of the New York Mets. By Nissan. Every Nissan is designed for people who refuse to settle for less. Visit nissanusa.com or your local dealer. By Spectrum. It's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. And by the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right they almost feel wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer. Once again, the final score here from the south side of Chicago. The White Sox defeat the Mets 2-1. Off day for the Mets tomorrow. Our next SNY telecast coming your way as the first place Brewers come to town. Part of a 6-game homestand. Coverage begins on SNY at 6:30 before Game 1. Well, Friday night, it was Jake Rogers. This afternoon, Tristan Peters. Something magic happening here in Chicago for the White Sox. After the break, post-game with Gary Apple, Jim Duquette, and Jose Reyes. For Ron Darling, Michelle Margot, and our entire SMY crew, thanks for hanging with us. We'll see you next time.